Hey everyone, my name is Monica. Today I thought we'd start to lay the foundation for handstands. So going up into handstand requires a lot of different pieces to work together and come together. So by looking at these individual pieces, one, we can work on handstand little by little before actually going upside down by laying the foundation. And two, we can start to get some insight into our obstacles or our weaknesses. So which individual piece of the handstand is holding me back from actually going into handstand. So as we go through some of these pieces, some of these foundational postures to help us build up to handstand, be really mindful of what's hard, where you're getting stuck, because then that's going to tell you what your weakness is and what's holding you back specifically into going into handstand someday. So we don't have to go into handstand today, but we can work little by little so that someday maybe it'll be possible. The first thing that's very important for handstands is strong shoulders. So plank position is an awesome posture to help us build the shoulder strength that we'll need in handstand. So let's come to a plank position, and I'll show you modifications as well. We can start with the modifications with the shoulders over the wrist and the knees down on the floor. And you can keep the toes tucked. So then the non-modified version, if you are a little bit stronger in the shoulders already, is you can lift the knees up off the floor. A few pieces we'll detail here that relate directly to handstand. You want to tuck the tailbone under so you can start to integrate into the strength of the core. So if the sit bones are moving away from the heels, it's a little bit hard to strengthen in through the front of the body. So tuck the tailbone under, lengthen through the lower back, and pull the lower belly in to keep the core engaged. We're going to hold it. If you need a break, you can lower the knees. So this is the endurance, the strength of endurance through the shoulders. Another piece that's important is properly making contact with the floor through the hands. You want to squeeze and press down through 3 points along the hand, through the fingertips, through the knuckles, and through the heel. So those 3 points are going to help us to properly connect to the ground and also find balance once we go into handstand. Good. Make sure you're breathing. And then one last piece, again, throughout this you can take breaks by lowering the knees, is moving the shoulders away from the ears. So you really want to make sure that the shoulder blades are down the back. That's going to give you stability. And then finding protraction through the shoulders. So pressing the shoulders down so the upper back is getting really wide. And it feels like the spine is moving up in between the shoulder blades as the shoulder blades move away from each other. So those two actions, shoulders away from the ears, and then pressing the shoulders down for protraction. All right, exhale, let's come into a child's pose. Take a break. Good. So just holding plank and keeping all of those points in mind will build the right strength for shoulders, for handstand. Okay, now the second piece, which is also related to the shoulders, is not only do we need strong shoulders, but we need flexible shoulders. So we want to find that flexibility beyond the center line, beyond the arms being over your head, so that when the arms are straight over your head in that vertical line, it's comfortable. So you want to find flexibility beyond the vertical line so that when you're at the vertical line, it's comfortable and you're not struggling. So we'll start to work on that with a modified puppy pose. So you can put the block, hands on the blocks, and then put it towards the front of the mat. You can tuck the toes, and then keeping the shoulders moving away from each other into external rotation. Also very important for the position of the shoulders in handstands is externally rotating the shoulders, so moving the shoulders away from each other, and then sinking the chest down and the forehead down to the floor. And we'll hold this for a few breaths. So you want to feel that stretch along the sides where the shoulders are connecting down into the ribs. So you want to keep that external rotation through the shoulders, moving the shoulders away from each other. So this is active through the shoulders. And feel that stretch all along here. Good. So you're really squeezing the shoulder blades forward. So you're rolling the shoulders forward towards the front of the body as you stretch through the shoulders and a little bit into the upper back. Now, if you want to take this a little bit deeper, you can do it without the block. of sinking the chest down to the floor, either the forehead down again, or you can bring the chin for a deeper expression. And again, wrapping the shoulders forward away from the ears. Good. Okay. Now we'll move into the third piece that we'll need for handstand, and that is a strong front body. So a really common thing to get into when you start working on handstand is kind of losing that front body engagement and arching and coming into that like banana back shape. But it's going to be really hard, impossible, to find the vertical line and balance of the handstand if you don't have the front body engaged and you don't know how to control the front body, so that when you need to in that vertical line, you can strengthen through the front body and not go into that arched back banana shaped position. So we will do a low Navasana hollowed shape hold. I don't know if there's an actual name for this, but this will help us to train the front body to engage when we want it to engage. Okay, so you're lying on your back, you're going to lift the head to look towards the toes and lift the feet a little bit. And here you want to feel the lower back flat on the mat. And we'll hold it for 1, 2. Make sure the lower back is touching the floor, and that's going to bring the front body into a hollow shape. And 5. Exhale, come down. Good. So notice when you're laying on the floor, naturally you kind of come into an arched lower back. So the lower back, there's like a space in the lower back. You want to remove the space in the lower back and really tuck the tailbone under so the lower back touches the floor. Let's do that again. Tuck the tailbone, look up towards the toes, and lift the feet. And if you need to modify, you can bend the knees and point the feet so that they're lightly touching the floor. But again, you're still finding that strong front body, tucking the tailbone under, and the lower back is touching the mat. 2 and 1. Exhale, come down. Good. And you can even feel it here without lifting the head, where you just tuck the tailbone and feel the lower back flat on the mat with the toes touching, and you can even bring the heels slightly apart. Good. Touching the lower back onto the floor. And then just for a little bit more oomph, lift the head, maybe lift the shoulders, really start to train that muscles on the front body to engage. Good. 3, wherever you are. 2, 1. Exhale, come down. Release that. You can hug the knees and rock up to seated. Okay, now let's do the fourth piece, which is flexible hamstrings. Okay, and forward folding for flexible hamstrings. We probably know this. So you're going to bring the feet hip width distance apart. Catch the big toes. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Good. And then the modification for this is you can just bend the knees and let the chest rest on the thighs. So looking into some of those basic principles of forward folding, you want the legs to be strong. So if they're straight, you're lifting through the arches, lifting through the kneecaps. You want to draw the lower belly in so that there's a hollowing through the pelvis, through the front of the pelvis. And then you want to relax along the muscles, along the spine, relaxing the back, relaxing the neck. So let the crown of the head move towards the mat. And you're gently pulling on the big toes to bring the crown of the head towards the mat and move the shoulders away from the ears. Good. A couple more deep breaths here, wherever you are. Maybe you're going to shift the weight forward into the tops of the feet. And exhale, come into a squat. Good. Okay. Now, so those are drills to kind of pinpoint each of those specific patterns in the body that need to be strong and established in order to come into handstand. Now there's a lot of other drills that we could do to sort of bring some of those pieces together and make sure that they're integrating correctly, but I think we'll save that for another video. But let's just do one more thing to start to help us integrate some of those pieces. Really simple. You're going to bring your hands to the mat, feet together, straighten the legs, and then all you're going to do is shift into the hands. So most of the weight is into the hands. Again, we'll hold this for 5 breaths. 1, and integrate all those pieces, pressing fingertips, knuckles, heels, pressing the shoulders away from the ears, and pressing down. Hamstrings are lengthening. Lower belly is pulled in, strong front body. And then exhale, come down. Good, and if you need a little bit more space to find that shifting forward, then step onto a block. Put the feet onto a block. Let's do that 2 more times. Just lift the hips, and then from the feet, you're going to shift the weight into the hands. 1. Strong shoulders, pressing through the shoulders and moving the shoulders away from the ears. 3. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. So you're coming into external rotation through the shoulders. 4. Keep breathing. And 5. Exhale, come down. One more time. Straighten the legs. Shift forward. 1. Fingertips, knuckles, heels pressing down. Especially pressing down through the base of the pointer finger. So the knuckle of the pointer finger. Good. Strong core, strong shoulders. One more breath. And exhale. Come down. Okay. All right. I hope that was helpful to get you started on your handstand journey. It's a really long journey. It takes a lot of time, patience, and it's fun too. So take your time and take it piece by piece. Allow these drills to give you a little bit of an insight into where you need to work more and what you need to focus on more. Some things come easier to us than other things, and it differs from person to person. So I hope that helped, and I'll see you soon.